Barry Allen was a forensic scientist working for the Central City Police Department. After a freak accident involving lab chemicals and a bolt of lightning, Barry discovered he had the power of super speed. Realizing immediately he wanted to use his powers to help others, Barry adopted the identity of his favorite comic book character, the Flash, and a legend was reborn. In this episode of Tony's Comic Spotlight, we celebrate the first appearance of Barry Allen as the Flash by spotlighting the comic that many have said started the Silver Age of comics. In this episode, we take a look at Showcase number 4 from 1956. Story number 1, Mystery of the Human Thunderbolt. Barry Allen is a police scientist who is doused with chemicals that are struck by lightning. Barry soon finds that he has been endowed with superhuman speed and creates a costume which contracts and hides in his ring. He takes on the name of his favorite comic book character, the Flash. In his first mission as the Flash, Barry goes after the criminal known as the Turtle Man. Dubbed the world's slowest man, the Turtle Man tries to rob a bank. However, he is ultimately thwarted by the Flash, despite the fact that his super speed often worked against him going after the plotting Turtle Man. Ultimately, the Flash captures his opponent and turns him over to the police. Story number 2, The Man Who Broke the Time Barrier. Central City is hit with a number of strange crimes where a series of items begin vanishing from people's possessions. Barry Allen becomes involved as the Flash when a beaker he's experimenting with vanishes as well. Tracing down the culprit puts Barry Allen against Marsden, a criminal from the future who was supposed to be sent to the 50th century to serve his sentence on a desolate Earth, but was sent to the past by mistake instead. Able to avoid Marsden's weapon, Flash captures the crook. However, he manages to break out of prison using his superior scientific knowledge. Catching up with Marsden again, the Flash tries to capture him again, but stops when Marsden petitions the Flash to allow him to return to his own time. Instead of allowing him to go in his own time capsule, the Flash instead breaks the time barrier by running at super speed, turning Marsden over to the authorities in the future. Marsden is sent to the correct era to serve out his punishment. The Flash then returns to his own time and resumes his civilian life once more. Without Barry Allen, the world of comics would be a drastically different arena. Before he became the Flash, Jay Garrick was the Flash during the Golden Age of comics, which refers to the first incarnations of characters such as Batman, the Flash, Superman, etc. After the 40s, however, interest in comic books and superheroes was on the decline, so DC tried one last push. And so the Silver Age marked DC's first effort to modernize its heroes, and so the Silver Age marked DC's first effort to modernize its heroes by effectively rebooting their universe for the first time. It started with Barry Allen's Flash. He was the first hero to get revamped in a dramatic fashion, and Barry's introduction was so successful that it led to the modernization of other heroes, which in turn cemented DC's foothold. The uninitiated, it's easy to think that the Flash only runs fast, but he can do much more. One of the most powerful superheroes ever. The Flash's ability to run millions of times faster than the speed of light, time travel, and even create alternate timelines makes him practically a god. Luckily, at least for the most part, the Flash often resists the temptations to warp the universes to whim, except for that whole Flashpoint affair where he created another universe. The Flash has accelerated healing, is capable of quantum tunneling through objects, and packs the infinite mass punch where he accelerates to the speed of light and hits someone with the mass of the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. He can hit someone with that level of strength once, or literally 1 billion times in a second. No one can see him or touch him if he moves fast enough. If you watched The Flash over on the CW, then odds are you felt like you inexplicably recognized a certain somebody. This is on account of several reasons. The first being there was a previous Flash TV show back in the early 90s, and it starred none other than John Wesley Shipp as the Flash. These days he's appeared as both Barry Allen's father and the Golden Age speedster Jay Garrick. That wasn't the only way the new show paid homage to its predecessor. They also got Star Wars actor Mark Hamill to reprise his role as the villainous trickster. While it's clearly a different version of the same character, previews for the episode use footage and images of him from the '90s series. To no one's surprise, the Flash comics are chock full of time, travel, and paradoxes. It comes with the territory. To those who don't know, Barry Allen received his powers from getting struck by lightning at the same time a bunch of chemicals fell on him. Turns there were greater powers at play than everyone originally thought. In the Flash Rebirth, the story revolves around Barry Allen and his return. Following the events in Final Crisis, during the story, the Reverse Flash has come back once again to seek revenge on Barry. Barry chases after the Reverse Flash, who's gone back in time to kill Iris. Barry pushes himself hard enough to break the time barrier and becomes the lightning bolt that originally gave him his powers. Barry Allen is a legendary hero and one of the highest regarded in all of comic books. In issue number 8 of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Flash dies, sacrificing himself to save all of reality. His death was so impactful that it wasn't just DC who mourned the loss, but Marvel Comics too. After Barry Allen's death, Marvel Comics created the character Buried Allen as a way to pay tribute to the fallen DC hero. Buried Allen donned the iconic colors, suffered amnesia, and somehow remembered running into this new universe, i.e., the Marvel Universe, from another universe. He named himself Fast Forward and was called the fastest man in the universe. Even though the Flash boasts the title the fastest man alive, one of the biggest points of contention between DC Comics fans is whether the Scarlet Speedster is actually faster than Superman or vice versa. DC Comics started the debate years ago, having the two heroes constantly finding themselves racing each other. Alas, these races were usually cut short thanks to some pesky supervillain, and we never received a clear answer about who was faster for the longest while. In Jeff Johns' The Flash Rebirth, readers got an answer at last. There's a plethora of comic book shenanigans transpiring during the story, but what matters here is that Superman is chasing Barry, and they seem completely even. Superman says he's won a couple of their previous races, so there's no point in running. Barry replies by admitting their races were for charity, and immediately zooms on beyond the Man of Steel. The Flash is unquestionably one of DC's most powerful superheroes. If he and his comics writers put their mind to it, there's little he can't do. Yet speed-related abilities and time travel aren't the Flash's only abilities. He has a particularly nifty defensive one. You see, not only can the Flash's body move quickly, but his mind can too, and this helps him figure out the best plan of attack as he charges into a fight. This also provides the Scarlet Speedster with protection against psychic attacks. One of the Flash's foes is Gorilla Grodd, a hyper-intelligent gorilla with mind control powers. To the superpowered apes charging, he can't take over Barry Allen as his mind simply moves too fast to be read or controlled. This provides the Flash a terrific advantage that many of his fellow superheroes do not share. The Flash isn't known for getting his hands particularly dirty, so whenever he's committed murder has blown people's minds. After the Reverse Flash killed Iris West, Barry was horrified, but flash forward and Barry has found someone new on a web. The two are about to get married when again the Reverse Flash intervenes, set on killing Barry's soon-to-be wife. However, this time around, Barry isn't having any of it. In a fit of rage, he accidentally snaps Dawn's neck. In the Flash Annual number 3, the future Flash is killing villains. Before time traveling to the past, he stops in Gorilla Grodd's lair and blows up his foe's head. After Barry returned from the future following his murder of Grodd, his next step is to eliminate his past self in the Flash number 35. Before the older Barry can kill his younger self, however, a future Wally West shows up, but future Barry kills Wally. Evil family members are not terribly uncommon in comic books. While evil parents seem to take the lead in terms of the sheer number, there are some siblings who won't be making anybody's Christmas list. Introducing Barry Allen's evil Malcolm Thawne. At one point, Barry learned that he had a secret brother, and a drunk doctor screwed up the delivery of a child from the wealthy Thawne family. This led to the doctor switching the baby he had accidentally killed with one of the twins Nora Allen had birthed in order to save his reputation. Years later, Malcolm Thawne learned his true parentage and didn't take it well. He became the supervillain Cobalt Blue and made it his mission to not only rob his brother of his powers, but also wipe out his descendants for good measure. In turn, this generated a centuries-long feud between the two families. In one of the few crossovers between Marvel and DC Comics, the two powerhouses did the unthinkable. They decided that after their characters were through punching each other, to then literally mash them up into different heroes during their time of Amalgam Comics. Superman was mashed up with Captain America, Spider-Man with Superboy, and the Flash merged with Ghost Rider to transform into Speed Demon. The Flash is impossibly fast. How fast, you ask? Well, he's fast enough to outrun death. Since the Flash can't be captured by Death, Death has seemingly created a hellish death entity to do the job. The Black Flash is a speedster who is the embodiment of death itself. Though originally thought of as a myth among living speedsters, the Black Flash would appear to speedsters right before they died. Flashes like Barry Allen, Johnny Quick, and even Bart Allen all had visions of the Black Flash moments before their death and or death-like experiences. Interestingly, Max Mercury is the only speedster to elude the Black Flash on more than one occasion. One of the biggest struggles all superheroes must face is not fighting criminals, but choosing an awesome code name. When Barry Allen first acquired speed powers in Showcase number 4, he knew he needed to do good with his abilities. However, he wasn't sure what to call him. That's when Barry got inspiration from his favorite superhero. Ever the lovable nerd, Barry decided to name himself after the original Flash. He got the idea from a Flash comic book chronicling the adventures of Jay Garrick. As it turned out, Jay Garrick, the first Flash, lived on Earth 2 in a completely separate universe. It would take a number of years for the respective Earths to cross over, but once they did, the event forever changed comics as it introduced the concept of the multiverse. Before the DC event Final Night, Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow, died. Hal Jordan, right before he dies by reigniting the sun and saving the world, uses his immense power to resurrect Oliver's physical body. The Green Arrow story arc, Quiver, takes place shortly thereafter. In it, the newly resurrected Green Arrow is back and trying to find his place in the world. Of course, leave it to Batman to realize something's off. Batman and the others perform a type of seance, sending Ollie to the afterlife where he meets Hal Jordan, now the Spectre. Hal says that he resurrected Oliver's body, but not his memories. From there, Ollie takes a tour of heaven and is greeted by Barry Allen. Barry then gives Oliver a brief tour of heaven before reuniting Green Arrow with his spirit. When Barry Allen was introduced in a two-part episode of Arrow, DC's TV universe suddenly opened beyond what anyone was expecting. There are now there. When Barry Allen was introduced in a two-part episode of Arrow, DC's TV universe suddenly opened beyond what anyone was expecting. There were now endless possibilities. The initial plan was to bring Barry back later that same season as the Flash for a backdoor pilot leading to him starring in his own series. Those plans fell through, however, and the powers that be decided the character would instead receive an actual pilot episode. The network was very confident about the chances of the Flash's success. After all, the inclusion of Barry on Arrow was well received, yet giving the Flash his own show was a risky move. But even if that pilot didn't do well, that wouldn't have been the last viewers would have seen of the character. According to those involved with both shows, the Scarlet Speedster would have been on Arrow as a recurring character. I hope you enjoyed this look into Barry Allen's first appearance in Showcase number 4. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell for future notifications. And as always, thanks for watching this video or any videos. I really do appreciate all the support. In the next episode of Tony's Comic Spotlight, episode 31, we'll be paying respects to the first appearance of the Justice Society of America and All-Star Comics number 3. So that should be pretty cool. So until then, take it easy, be safe, and God bless. See ya.